Hello and welcome back to Wrongmar. In today's English lesson, we're taking another look at grammar. We're going to be looking at the fourth and final major word group of adverbs. Our Walt for today's lesson is to identify, use and sort adverbs from other word types. So we've already looked at nouns, adjectives and verbs. We've only got one group left to look at, and that's adverbs. To be honest, adverbs are probably the trickiest group out of the four. That's why we left them till last. So first we need to answer the question of what is an adverb? There is a little clue in the actual word if you look close enough. Can you pause the video and write down what you think an adverb might be? Well, the clue was in the word. An adverb is a word that describes a verb. It tells when, where, or how an action is done. I know sometimes people get a bit mixed up between adjectives, the words that describe nouns, and adverbs, the words that describe verbs. But an easy way to remember is when you look at that word, adverb, think of this. It adds detail to a verb, an adverb. So why do we need adverbs? What use are they? Well, without adverbs, everybody would have to walk at exactly the same speed in exactly the same way, because there would be no way of describing it differently. So no more walking slowly or running quickly. Instead, everybody would just move in the same way. Just like adjectives, adverbs add more detail and make stories more interesting to read. It helps the reader get a clearer picture of what you want them to think of. Down below are some examples of different adverbs. The adverbs today, later, and early tell us when an action takes place. The adverbs up, away, and nearby tell us where the action takes place. And the adverbs slowly, happily, and loudly tell us how the action took place. Okay, let's have a little practice at spotting some adverbs from the list below. Down below there are 6 words. Some of them are adverbs, some of them are not. Can you pause the video and see if you can figure out which ones are adverbs? Remember, an adverb tells us more about an action. Pause the video and give it a try. Well, how did you get on? Adverbs are a lot trickier to spot than the other types of words. So our 3 adverbs were quickly, because that tells us how something was done. He talked quickly. Our second adverb was here, because that tells us where the action took place. He jumped here. And finally, our last adverb is easily, because again it tells us how the action took place. He won easily. Take a look at the picture of the snake down below. Can you think of an adverb that would describe how this animal moves? Pause the video and see if you can think of an adverb. Well, how did you get on? Here's a few that I came up with. Slowly, sneakily, and quietly. Usually, when we're talking about adverbs that describe how an action takes place, they end with ly, but not always. Try another one. Take a look at this animal down below. What adverb would you use to describe how this animal roars? Can you pause the video and see if you can come up with an adverb? Remember, if it ends in ly, it's usually an adverb. Well, how did you get on? Here's what I went for. I said loudly, angrily, and boldly. Did you get any of those? Or maybe you got your own. Let's try one more. Take a look at the cheetah down below. what adverb would you use to describe how this animal runs? Remember, it usually will end in ly if it's an adverb telling us how an action takes place. Pause the video and see if you can think of an adverb. Well, how did you get on? Here's the 3 that I went for: quickly, silently, and fast. See, the word fast doesn't end in ly, so it doesn't always work. It's still an adverb, because if I put it in a sentence, the cheetah runs fast. Fast tells us how he runs. Okay, now that you're getting a little bit more familiar with adverbs, can you sort the words below into the correct categories? Some of them are adverbs, some of them are not. Be very careful. Try put them in sentences with verbs before them to see if they really are adverbs. Pause the video and give it a try. Well, how did you get on with that one? Some of those were quite tricky. So the adverbs from down below are always, slowly, carefully, and early. The words that are not adverbs are short, man, jump, and ugly. How about in a sentence? Can you find the adverbs in each of the sentences down below? Remember, an adverb tells you more about a verb. It might be how the person did the action, where the person did the action, or when the person does the action. Pause the video and see if you can find the 3 adverbs below. Well, did you find them? There was one in each sentence. In the first sentence, the word quietly is an adverb because it tells us how Sarah sat down. She sat quietly. In the second sentence, the adverb is the word outside because it tells us where the class had their lunch. And in the final sentence, the word always is an adverb because it tells us when Linda reads. She always reads. Okay, final challenge. Down below is a big paragraph with lots of adverbs hidden in it. Can you see if you can find at least 4 adverbs in the passage down below? Pause the video and give it a try. Well, how did you get on? Pause the video and check if you got these adverbs on your list. If you did, good job. You understand what an adverb is. You're ready to try the practice activities down below. If you're still not sure what an adverb is, pause the video and rewind it back so you can watch it again. Before you go, let me leave you with this challenge. Imagine you're going to the zoo. Pick your favourite animal and make a list of the adverbs that answer the questions below. How does the animal move? How does the animal sound? And how does the animal eat? So our Walt for today's grammar mini lesson was to identify, use and sort adverbs. That's all we have time for today. Until next time, take care.